Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mark with the Better Mark, and let's get into this action-packed Friday, March 15th NBA slate. We're going to break down a lot of games within the size, within the totals, as well as recap what went on yesterday in the association. I gave out a couple best bets, a couple ways of playing that, but let's get down into it without further ado. But make sure you guys are all subscribed on YouTube down below. Appreciate you guys, as well as on X. I'm doing my Fanatics jersey giveaway. That'll be randomized come after Selection Sunday. I'll have more details to follow within that. But that's one where you're going to want to go to the pinned comment on YouTube and make sure you guys all head over to my X page. Follow me on there as well. And that's where we're going to get into the March Madness giveaway that we're going to be hosting here on the channel for all of my subscribers. So make sure you guys all get in that, and let's do a quick recap of yesterday. I gave out the Boston Celtics minus 5.5. I wasn't feeling too hot, so just one play that I liked that really stuck out. But the rest of the slate, I didn't feel like it was right to give you guys any official plays or any breakdowns when I didn't really put in my due diligence for myself. And if I'm not going to bet it myself, I'm not going to tell you guys here on the channel. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. We're able to do that. I also gave out that just a way to parlay some of the three money line favorites, all playing at home. We had the Thunder, we had the Celtics, as well as I believe the Milwaukee Bucks in that three-team moneyline parlay. That was able to cash as well. So for those of you that watched yesterday, I know the views were down, but for those of you that watched, congratulations if you're able to get behind those plays. And now we're going to get into tonight's slate, okay? First, we're going to go out to the Phoenix Suns taking on the Charlotte Hornets. When we look at a total getting it kind of out of control, minus 9, 217 on the total. Within this matchup, it's one where I don't really know how to feel about Phoenix off a back-to-back. As well as getting trounced. Charlotte is one of those teams that they've been flying on my no-play list. Okay, we all know about their injury concerns. Phoenix losing by 15 last night at Boston. Here we go, quick turnaround. Now we're going south, headed to Charlotte, and but Charlotte's coming off a day of rest. It's too big of a number. If I had to give you guys a lean, it would be towards taking, if you can find a 10 out there, but I don't think we're going to get it, that 9.5 from Bet365 and MGM. Very juicy, but like I said, I would be leaning towards Charlotte with the points, but it's one contest where I'm not going to get behind, okay? And then Miami, traveling to Detroit. This is one where I'm going to back Spoelstra in the Heat, okay? 50-50, basically both of these teams against the spread on the season. We look at the Heat, though, playing the Pistons. This is one where, look at the money splits within the bets. 67% of the money's on the Heat, 50% of the bets are basically down the board. So, but we are seeing this number that's kind of not really moving. But Cade Cunningham possibly out, questionable. We'll see how that injury develops. But we're looking at this game, guys, and I think it's one where, yes, Detroit's, Miami's lost 4 out of their last 5, kind of trending in opposite directions, but Detroit is still Detroit, and it's one where I look at this game, and against a quality opponent, I think that Miami gets a job despite being on the road. Lock in that minus 7. We're going to be taking with the Heat as our first official play. Okay, next, this will be Orlando traveling to Toronto, where we look at the Raptors, and boy, they're just really strung out. That's just what it comes down to. Failing to cover in a lot of spots. They're just really, really struggling to get healthy, and they're in that kind of time of the year where 23 and 43, you just really start losing morale, dropping, 5 straight, okay, 7 out of their last 8, and the madness just goes on, okay, and they've been losing to teams such as Detroit, Portland, okay. It's just something where Toronto's going in a completely different direction in terms of what they're trying to get done. It's unfortunate, but one where we're going to stay behind the Orlando train. They were able to cover for me in a couple spots. Orlando against the spread has been one of my go-tos on the season. From a trend perspective, 42 and 23 against the spread. That number is even better at home, I believe. We look at what they actually do, and it's a 77% cover rate as a favorite, 21 and 6, and Orlando on the road, 77%, 7 and 2 as a road favorite. So love it, love this play. I'm going to be taking Orlando if you can find it out there at a 7. That's a great play. That'll be my third official play, and then we'll get into the Los Angeles Clippers, New Orleans Pelicans game next. One where we're not going to be looking for really much anything in this game. It's a too big of a number, too big of a variance for me, so it's a no play. We look at The Pelicans, they've won and covered 4 of their last 5. I'm sorry, they've covered 4 out of their last 5. 3-2 straight up, I believe. And one when we look at this, guys, the Clippers. Okay, sorry about that. They have won 4 out of their last 5 and covered 4 out of their last 5. The Clippers have been that team that has covered 4 out of their last 5 and 3-2 straight up. Okay, but these teams are basically even matched. One were questionable status with James Harden, Westbrook's out. So basically just Kawhi Leonard, Paul George suiting up. And they're going on the road. And we look at this last game, it's something where Clippers were able to beat Chicago by 15, and now they travel down to New Orleans. New Orleans getting trounced by Cleveland at home. New Orleans off some rest. Not sure exactly what's going to happen, but we're going to look into this as a no play because it just is one of those teams where I could see New Orleans winning by 10. I could see the Clippers winning by 10. So a little bit of a sketchy number too, because we look at the Clippers getting the 6.5. It's making me want to just jump all over that, especially with New Orleans coming off a bad loss to Cleveland. But it's just going to be a no play for me. It's a little fishy for my liking. Okay, and then next, Denver, San Antonio. This is one where we look at this game. It's really just going in different directions. San Antonio, when Wembanyama's back, it's one where they've been struggling in some spots. Have a couple close games here or there, but they're just still so young. It's not a team where Denver on the road. It's too big of a number though for me to lay the 10.5. We look at the number creeping up from 9.5 of an open, and everybody's on Denver. So it's one where you look at a lot of the bets coming in on San Antonio, but the number's still moving towards Denver. So one where I'm not going to be looking at taking this game. It's just too big of a number. It's a little fishy the way the bet splits are going, and it wouldn't shock me one bit if San Antonio just could backdoor a 10.5 out there if that number creeps out of control, or if Denver wins by margin. Okay, probably more so have a lean towards the under. Okay, but no official play in this game. Okay. Lastly, we're gonna go out to the great state of Utah, where the Jazz are hosting the Atlanta Hawks, and this is one where Trae Young still remains out within the Atlanta Hawks, and one where we look at this game, guys. I firmly have a good feel on this one, where we're going to be looking to take the over in this contest. 224 out there if you can find it, but it's actually crept down, opening from a 222.5, and now you can find this out there at 222. And where we're going to be taking the over in this game. The Utah Jazz have played no defense, and I think despite the injury concerns for Atlanta, Jalen Johnson's questionable. More and more so, Trae Young is out. Bogdan's questionable. Something where we look in this game, Atlanta fails to struggle to score, or they fail to score some points, but Utah has no problem giving up those points. One where I think this could be a slop it up, ugly game. Looking for this game to be played in the 230s, possibly like a 112, 118 kind of game, where I think it's just going to go over just a bit. So seeing that number get kind of hover around that 222, locking in as my 5th official play. There is a potential possibility that that game is just a dud, though, and both teams fail to score 100 points. But I just think it's too low with the defense that Utah has thrown up. It really doesn't matter which team's going against them. And that about wraps it up. That'll be my 3rd official play out of this NBA slate. I hope you guys are all doing well. Guys, go cash some tickets. Enjoy it. Enjoy the weekend coming up. Basketball is going to be in full swing with March Madness. Don't forget to enter the channel giveaway over on X that we're running. Not a lot of people have retweeted that, so make sure you guys all get into it. As Selection Sunday comes around, we're going to be reaching the end of that giveaway, and one lucky subscriber will win a free jersey of their choice, fanatics.com, shipped directly to you. Make sure you all check the links down below and subscribe on both socials so you're entered in this contest, okay? But that's what I got. I hope you guys are all doing well. Enjoy the weekend. Like I said, go cash some tickets, and we'll see you guys all in the next video. Cheers.